Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And I wanted to start out with my thumbnail on the screen, and you'll understand why as I go along. Now, don't look too closely to this disclaimer here because there is a face kind of in the blurred out in the back. I borrowed this from somebody else's video, and I do apologize. I should give them some credit, but I can't remember who it was. But I do agree with the disclaimer because these are my opinions. They might be different from yours. That is perfectly fine. Be polite, and and that's the thing. You should know by now, okay, if you watch enough of my videos, and you should before considering subscribing. Go watch some videos. Make sure I'm a good fit for you. For you, I know I want you to be happy here. I want friends to be able to come in and hang out and feel not feel judged or you know and being accepted for who you are and what and what you believe in. You have the right to believe in whatever you want. And and this is of course a response to my satanic panic video, because and I love all the comments, from all sides that I got. I know there's going to be Christian people and religious people and maybe a fanatical here and there that might be watching that video who might not get, the altruistic, point of view that I'm trying to purvey. That I love people. I do my best to treat people with consideration, dignity, and respect. It was Halloween. It's the season for Halloween. This is the subject for Halloween. And I wanted to give you my point of view of how I grew up and what I believe in. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you believe in something that is also you feel is altruistic and it gives pleasure and joy and happiness to you and others in life, go ahead. Go ahead. But I just want to make a statement right now that the things that I believe in, okay, and I'm never ever going is never preachy. I'm never ever going to preach to you and say you need to believe this if you want your soul to be free. You know, I'm never going to preach to you about that. You have the right to believe whatever you want. And it makes no my beliefs, you know, does not require you to believe in it. You don't need to believe in what I believe in. I don't need to convince you. You're because people make up their own judgments of what they see, what they believe, and how they feel. I'm keeping this up here for a moment. There's a reason why I'm using the OBS. There's an image I want to show you. Okay, now this is my second time recording this because the first time around I was getting a little too excited and a little too almost like kind of heart palpitations and stuff because I was really getting into the subject, and I want to be more calm about it because could and it was all positive. It was just me trying to explain that when it comes to a point of view, it really has nothing to do with the subject that you're focusing on. It always is your interpretation of how you see something. Okay. Now I'm gonna put an image on the screen. Okay. Now your first response, the first image, okay, that you see, it's in one of those ambiguous images, okay, how you look at it and you can see either a duck or a rabbit, or you can see an old woman or a young woman, depending on how you see the picture. Well, this one is a beautiful little morality test, and how whether you have some, whether you see some innocent beauty, okay, because that is definitely in there, or you'll see some corrupt. You'll have somebody might have a corrupted mind and see the negative when they look at that, and see something salacious and untoward. But now, when you show this to innocent people, kids, they see the good thing in there. They see the innocent thing. Okay, I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. All right, here it goes, and right now, what's the first thing you saw? What's the first thing you see? Now, you show this to a bunch of kids, they see dolphins. They see dolphins. They see 8 beautifully swimming dolphins in a kind of floating around in a this kind of cave type of thing. That's what they see, and they don't see anything else unless you were righteous enough to point it out to them that they might see it. But innocent people don't see what you think they see. They showed this image to nuns, okay, and that's French. That's French. It says message d'amour des dauphins, which means message of love from dolphins. You know, it is, and they showed this to nuns, and the first thing that they saw, of course, was the love stuff. That and it really goes to show the type of mind. That's the reason why Tipper Gore, when she heard those salacious lyrics from Prince, that's where her mind went. That's where her mind went. And then from there on, she was seeing demons and satanic stuff in there that was not there. That was what she wanted to see. Us kids growing up, me growing up, we never saw that. We never saw that. It didn't make us want to go and 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 sacrifice an animal or something stupid like that. No, no. You know, this is I so I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying this is how I think about it. This is how I feel about it. And I think this picture here, there's 8 dolphins that if you yeah, that's of course, when you become enlightened, right, and you see the world in a bigger, wider scope, you're going to be able to see both. But first impressions, when you don't know what you're looking at right off the bat, your mind will see one over the other primarily. It will choose one. You will not at first see both. And I know most of you probably saw, the figure, the forms, and not the dolphins. You probably didn't even know the dolphins were there until it was pointed out. But yeah, this is not a long video. Again, it's just I just want to kind of prove my point about with those comments that I was reading, and I wanted to respond to each and every single one of you guys, but I kind of felt a little overwhelmed by those responses. I do thank you, and I do love those responses that you gave, because it really shows a broad spectrum of how people perceive that 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 message that I was giving. That you could see it from one way, or you can completely see it the other way. It's depending on your programming. It's depending on how you were raised. This is nurture. This is nurture, because the nature wants to see the dolphins. The nurture wants to see the salacious parts. That's all I'm saying. Make of it what you will. All right, enough of that right now. I'll hide this again. go back to go back to this for the moment. Oh, actually, I'll get rid of that and that too, and boom, and move me over a little bit so you see me more in the center here. All right, and there we go. So I'm going to let you go now. I just wanted to say that to you guys because it's an important subject to me, and I don't I don't want to see people being mean to each other. I really don't want people to be offended by anything I do or say. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment. I might make another video a little later, maybe today or tomorrow, probably a little later. I am going out and hanging out with my brother tonight because it is his birthday today, and I want to hang out with him. Anybody who doesn't want to see this part, if you just came for the satanic panic stuff, I'm done talking about that. I do have a couple, just a little bit of a little bit update I want to share with you. So yeah, I do have another video coming up right after this one. It's not going to be a long video, but maybe 5 minutes. Or I do need to give somebody who's been with my channel, like a subscriber of my channel for like since I started, right from the beginning. They have been super helpful. They have been really interactive with my channel in a major way. It's somebody I already gave thank yous to before, but he deserves another thank you again. I should have did it a week ago. um, you'll see in the next video. I don't want to spoil any more. Please go watch that. It's going to be less than 5 minutes, but it'll be enough to let you know just how much I love this person, how much he means to me, and I consider him my one of my ideal subscribers. He's like exactly the type of person I'm looking for in subscribers. I'm looking for all kinds though. I'll take anybody. But he represents like the ideal that not to put him on his pedestal, but you'll see he's cool. All right, I am done with you guys for now. And everybody, just I'm not going to give you my normal spiel. Just to be safe, take care. I will see you on the flip side, and please everybody just have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.